Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining us again for another great episode. Today we're getting a chance to sit down with Kent Peters, who's training out of Cape Breton Island. He's also the owner and operator of Zombie Proof BJJ. He's also the CEO of Supernatural Survival Gear. Supernatural Survival Gear. Took a while to get that one out. Before we get started or anything, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We really do appreciate it, especially if you guys are liking our content, if you like all our guest episodes, and also if you want to see a lot more different content coming down the road, make sure you subscribe and share it to your friends. We are sponsored by SpiritLeaf Waterdown, located at 64 Hamilton Street North in Waterdown, Ontario. If you're looking for Canada's best cannabis brand, look no further than Alex and his team at SpiritLeaf Waterdown. If you're looking for THC and CBD products, make sure you pop into their store. Also, don't forget to show them that you like the podcast, and they're going to make sure that you they're going to make sure you save money every time you shop there. Thanks everybody for joining us, and we'll see you on the mats.
I'm not training jiu-jitsu illegal. It's just the hickey. Or
I mean, you know, it was just because
or MRSA. Could be staff.
Yeah, really though. Well, that's why that's why they should have left gyms open, jiu-jitsu gyms especially. Like, we've been fighting fucking skin infections for what, our entire career?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I know personally my gym is cleaner than every fucking Walmart in existence.
Well, and that's the thing. I think that we were like every club. I mean, unless you train at places where you just get constant skin infections, but like every club is always stingent on keeping their.
Not gonna mention any names here, Aaron.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But where you're getting gonorrhea from. That's, you don't want to train with at Aaron's place. Gonorrhea, syphilis. You name it.
No, but like that's
only
the thing, right? Like
the finest.
Try to keep the place clean and fucking go and whatever. The fuck do I know?
No, but you know, it's just I had to get inspected by the Corona police so they would allow me to reopen, right? Because we were illegal for years. Well, since the fucking beginning. Like, I think I took, I care, right? I do. I try not to. I'm a bit of a dick, but I care. So when they lied to us and told us how bad this was going to be, I took it serious. Like, I don't want to kill my parents. You know what I mean? So yeah. I think I took like a full month off. And then when Corona literally didn't exist in my province, I was like, fuck it, man, I'm going back to training. My wife even told me, like, if you don't go back training, we're going to end up fucking divorced because I need it. So we started doing the closed door stuff. And then when they said you were allowed having like 10 people in a building, because I don't know if the rules were the same up there, but somewhat. I just took, we'll have 10 people in at a time. So we made a bunch of groups of 10, like prohibition jiu-jitsu. And if anybody came to, we still have the door locked. So you have to knock to come in, and we have a secret knock, bro. So like, we know you're not part of the gym right from the knock. I know, this is the fucking world, right? But like, the reason I don't even feel bad about it anymore is because nobody goes to the gym sick. You might go to the fucking, the steroid gym and be like, I'm going to sweat out this cold, but you don't go to jiu-jitsu to sweat out a cold, right? It's never been a thing. So what makes
I have never been guilty of that, right, Aaron?
No, yeah.
You fuckers, you're one of the bad ones, right?
We are.
No, I've never seen, like, I just don't see jiu-jitsu being like a super spreader, not like a fucking Walmart would be. They can't keep everything in Walmart clean, and everybody touches fucking everything, so jiu-jitsu, at least we fucking, like, my mats, dude, I'm spending so much money on sanitizer, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, no, it was pretty crazy. Obviously, again, like we've talked with everybody before, right? The beginning, everybody was freaking out. Nobody knew what to do. So you just kind of go with the flow, right? And then it just became that. And I think mental health was a big thing, right? Especially like whether it's your partner or whoever you're living with and all that kind of stuff, especially if you train. And that was the whole thing. It's like, I had to start training again at some point, or else my wife and I weren't going to get along. Probably the same thing with you. Mike 100%. And his wife train together, which is perfect, right? But if your partner doesn't train with you, you need to go do something, right? Like, you have to get out and do something different.
Kids, man, and they didn't appreciate that one bit.
Exactly.
Grab your wife. Hey, come here a minute.
Man, she's like fist fight. She wants nothing to do with it. But my luckily my 10-year-old, she's been doing jujitsu with me, but I mean she's 10, right? What can she do?
Yeah, you can only do so much, right?
Yeah.
She's gonna shoot a single leg. You just pick her up and give her like a rock bottom. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but we are actually starting off our show, but we've already started it anyways. But we are sitting here with Kent Peters from Nova Scotia. We are super excited to have him on the show.
No.
Oh,
It's not Nova Scotia.
from
So
Nova
this is weird.
Scotia.
Sorry.
Nova
Whoa.
Scotia.
No, I don't know if this is like this anywhere else, but Cape Breton Island is the little like the top of Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
And nobody from Cape Breton admits we're from Nova Scotia. We're from Cape Breton.
Okay, Cape Breton. My apologies. I will edit that.
Yeah,
Oh, wait,
no,
I don't.
I've never claimed Nova Scotia, not once in my life.
Are you ashamed? Are you ashamed of the province, or what's going on?
I love the province. It's just a fucking Cape Breton thing.
Well, I stand corrected because now I know that the center of the zombie apocalypse of where I'm going to end up is going to be Cape Breton Island. So that's where I understand.
Did you see World War Z, the movie?
Yeah.
At the end, the coastline that they pull up to actually is Nova Scotia. So
no way.
Yeah, bro.
Now that's pretty crazy. So you have, like, many have tried, many have failed, but you have perfected the art of the sweater, the hoodie, be specific, underneath the kimono, which is like, that is a staple because I've been on Reddit and I've said, oh yeah, there's other people doing it. Like, no, Kent Peters is the man who did that and he started it and that is his to own. So like, is it that cold in Cape Breton or like what's going on?
Cape Breton. No, I actually tore my AC joint like clean off. Like, I don't know if you can see that. Fucking
nice bump there.
Yeah. So I was rolling and I had a loop choke in. I was standing. I was passing guard and I caught a loop choke on this guy, and he had about 60 pounds on me. And he thought the proper way out was to just fucking fall back as hard as he could. So my shoulder hit the mat, and it just sounded like Velcro fucking releasing. Right. I stood up and I got a few paramedics in my class, and I was like, "Boys, come here. I need you to pop my shoulder back in place." And I'm not even trying to brag. This is a true story because I had that dude gurgling. I wanted to fucking finish. I wanted to win, right? And it was a torn AC, so we couldn't pop it back in. I had to go get looked at, but there's nothing they can do. Like, I think the only option, they could like shave off some of the bone or put a screw in, but typically AC joints can just fucking tear out again.
Yeah.
So I just have that gnarly horn for the rest of my life. But that's why I started wearing the hoodie. So I did judo. Oh, nice. Got a sale. I did judo for years, right? So
dang, making money as the podcast.
Did you like that, cha-ching? That was nice, right?
We should have a sound effect every time you make a sale during this podcast.
I'm telling you, man. Well, that like it's part of so I use Shopify for my website. So like it just was like I just had a sale come through, and it's the app on the phone. Every time I make a sale, my phone goes cha-ching. So now I fucking, like, once a cha-ching goes off, I'm like, money. Fucking, what was I saying? Yeah, so I did judo for years, and the guys that I did judo with, I thought they were super cool because when I was like just starting out, they were all warming up with their hoodies on. So to me, I always thought it was cool looking, right? And when I tore my AC joint, I didn't take any time off. Like, I was back on the mats the next day. Well, I was actually back there after the hospital, but I was back rolling the next day. So I just put a rash guard on, put a t-shirt over the rash guard, put a hoodie on, put a gi on. And I hope that keeping it warm would stop it from getting worse. And then by the time my shoulder was back to, it's still not normal. It makes fucked up noises. My hand goes numb. But when it, you know, when the pain went away, oh, fuck, it's bad, bro. You know what I meant, too. And,
they're giving it, were you giving it to stranger or something? Like, what is
fuck, right? At some point, I had to. It was my fucking good arm, man. So,
call it the stranger.
So the hoodie just became a thing. Like, it wasn't intentional. It's not because it's cold. And then by the time I was healed, it was a habit. I fucking like it. It's warm and not much of my skin touches the ground. Like,
yeah,
I don't, and it's fucking weird, but I love it. And now I'm seeing like that Wicked Gi company, Alberto and Breton, they just did like a marketing thing, and they had a dude wearing a gi under the, or a hoodie under the gi. And I was like, I don't even
motherfuckers.
I support this message. Like, everyone should throw a fucking hoodie on.
You need to copyright this shit. Make sure anybody He steals this.
I'll be just
Your
like Elon
intellectual
Musk,
property.
man. No, I'll give it the fuck away. I want everybody to do it. It's wicked. It's fucking comfortable, man. You just pop the hoodie up and then you're sweating more. It's good for the abs. I mean, you know, because you shed off all kinds of water weight and then you look good.
Oh, that's perfect. But
So we're gonna see Aaron. Hold on. We're gonna see Aaron wearing a hoodie very soon.
I fucking hope so. I want.
He's got some weight to shed. He's about 225, 230 right now.
I'm not that much. It keeps going up. I don't understand. I've been training every day and I still haven't lost weight. It's crazy.
Everybody's fucking diet and nutrition has been fucked since the beginning of Corona. Like I still haven't gotten it back on track. I'm probably 6 or 7 pounds over what I used to be.
Yeah, like I think it's like anything. I think the people who like were like, okay, I'm gonna keep training. I'm gonna go compete in the US, or like they kind of like got that shit honed back in. But like guys like myself, probably yourself, who have kids and doing also other shit, they're like, whatever, just go with the flow.
But drive-throughs are so much more convenient now, right? Fucking, it's easier than I hate wearing a mask. Like today, I was at the mall. My wife fucking hates it, right? Like, cause hates me. I won't wear the mask if I can get away with it until someone says something, and then when they start like doing the motion, like pull your mask up, I'll be like, oh hey, and I'll walk away quickly. Like until someone stops me and says, sir, please put your mask on, I won't fucking wear it. I hate it. It's stupid. It's fucking it doesn't do shit. Fuck, man. I'm like, I try not to sound like a dickhead, but I fucking hate it. You know, I'm so done with it all. I'm trying not to be like, I don't want to seem like an anti-vaxxer because the wife made me get my vaccine. So, you know, I can't even pretend
Listen, man, I'm telling you right now, this vaccine, it's going to kill us all within the next 150 years. Guaranteed. We're all going to die. Crazy. We're all going to die. 150 years, we're all dead.
I figure after 100 years, we overdose on water and sunlight anyway, so.
But kind of like what we were saying before we jumped on the podcast, especially when we talk about supernatural survival gear. That's the gear company that you started up. So like, how did you kind of like come to the concept? Like, okay, I'm going to start a gear company. Was that just like wanted to do it for a while, or just
no? I had absolutely no intention of doing it. I didn't want to do it. I really had no plans on it. I ordered a bunch of gear from my club through a third party who I won't name because I like the owner. I like their striking gear. I like their gis. I like a lot of shit about their company, but they were going through a transitional patch and they must have been using a shitty manufacturer. Cause when the gear that I ordered from my club showed up, it was absolute filth. Like it was trash. It was hard for me to sell it to my people. So I ended up losing a pile of money. I just gave a lot of it away. I'm still like, it was trash, you know, like bad. So I started shopping around to manufacturers. So, you know, those, the messages you get every day, like, hey sir, please check my, I started fucking messaging a few of them back and I found 2 factories that I liked. I got gear in, and I think the first set of gear I did was the UFO stuff. And I wanted to be able to sell it outside of my club, like to other local places. I never thought about Instagram being a marketplace for me. So I called it Supernatural Survival Gear because at the time I was making posts on Facebook, like Supernatural Survival Tip number 15. UFO actually stands for unidentified flying omoplata. Like I was just making up bullshit for because I'm a nerd, bro. My club's called Zombie Proof. Like I'm a geek, right? And when I finally got the stuff done, everyone in my class bought it. But then people were messaging me on Instagram like, hey, how can I buy that nice gear? So one of my students is good at computer stuff. He set up a little website and then I started making sales and it was fucking crazy. Like I was driving my one of my black belts. He's my best friend, Keenan, my student. We were driving and my phone went cha-ching the first time and I almost drove us off into the ditch. Like it was just it's just so weird that like I didn't even mean to make a company and now it's making like 3 times more than Zombie Proof did. So
that's amazing.
It all started from one of those guys like it was probably like Pakistan, like, hello friend, I have wares. I gotta give those guys credit over there. Like they hustle.
They're hound dogs,
they hustle hard, man. They're like, hey man, we got all the stuff for you. They just open up a trench coat full of like boxing gloves and gis and everything.
For real though, like they're hustlers, man. Like every time I contact my guys, and I know their names aren't this, but Martin and Stefan, they're my contacts. Right? And
everybody knows a guy named Martin in India. I'm just saying that right now.
It's like, it doesn't what time of day it is. He'll be like, "Oh yes, sweet handsome Kent, I'll get to that right away." I'm like, if you're fucking flirting with me, it's working.
That's great. So no, like, have you kind of like, because like obviously you're probably doing global sales by now, especially with like the reach that you have
everywhere, bro. I've sold stuff back to China.
That's amazing.
Like, I've sold stuff back to fucking like gone to Russia, Japan, Australia, everywhere. It's fucked. It's crazy.
No, and I love your gear because it's just so like you have tons of different types of styles, whether it's the camo, the tie-dye gi, which is awesome. I really like those. Yeah. And then obviously the different rash guards you have. And I
do them all myself. Like, I don't know if you can see the blue on my fingers, but I just finished tie-dyeing 2 gis before the podcast.
Oh, okay, so you're doing all the tie-dye as well.
Dude, unless you count my 10-year-old, who in my opinion is my boss, I'm the only employee. I do everything. I do the bleach dyes, the tie-dyes, fucking everything. Yeah.
Are you paying your daughter yet, or is it
no slave labor, bro? I'm keeping track of how many hours she does, and I set up a bank account. I'm putting money in the bank account, but she can't touch it. So she'll appreciate that in the future, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought you weren't. I thought you were paying her.
No, I'm doing
5 cents an hour, a hot dog and a handshake.
My accountant told me to set it up, do it as a write-off, and it's good for her. It's good for me. Because she does help. She's better at packing orders than I am. Like, she got a little bit of my OCD, so the labels are always perfect. The everything's packed flat. Like, it's nice.
All right. That's so awesome. If Justin Trudeau starts calling, we'll edit out that last part about the whole. Hey, we'll just leave this part in about what you.
Oh,
just
dude,
your
fuck
employee.
Trudeau. I don't even care.
Fun fact, actually, when we just started this podcast, we had like 100 followers. I'm scrolling through like everybody who's liking stuff, and like I was just brand new to it, and I see Justin Trudeau. I'm like, Aaron, what the fuck, man? And I blocked, removed. No, man, no, just no.
I wonder if he does jujitsu. I know that Jagmeet Singh guy. He did some jujitsu.
He did. He actually trained at a club in Mississauga that I used to go to several years ago.
That's awesome.
I don't know. So now we're on the subject out of all of our leaders, Jagmeet Singh, Justin Trudeau, who wins that fight?
Jagmeet for sure. I mean, with jiu-jitsu, all he has to do is hold his fucking hands up like this and walk towards Trudeau till he punches himself out, and then he's going to choke him.
Trudeau, are you saying Trudeau doesn't have hands?
Oh, even if he does have hands, man, if you think about it, right? Like, let's say you guys agree to fight anybody and you're not going to strike. All you have to do is cover your head so you're not going to get knocked out and walk forward till you're close enough to hug them. And then you're going to fuck them. It's 100% you every time, right? I get a kick out of all these people that are like, and I've had people say this to me, like, oh, well, if I caught you with a good shot, motherfucker, like, you think of how many people spar every day and get punched in the face every day by trained professionals and have never been knocked unconscious, right? Like, some people have never been knocked out. They've never been punched in the right spot and got knocked out. And you think you're going to fucking do it to me in a fight? Like, what are the odds going to be of that? Yeah, first shot. Like, I'm going to latch onto you and I'm going to whisper in your ear, I'm going to give you babies. Like, fuck you, bro. I'm going to kill you. I don't get these people, man. Like, you don't have a puncher's chance if you don't even fucking train. You're just literally going to get fucked.
With that Cape Breton charm.
Oh, God. I don't even know why you guys wanted me on the podcast.
Oh, I think it was to get us canceled at this point.
Nah, no, but like, one thing is that, like, even like with your Instagram, because obviously, congratulations, by the way, on that 50,000 followers. That's pretty amazing.
Fucking crazy.
Like, how did you, like, was it just starting off with those survival gear? The survival.
No, this was an accident too. This was well before the gear ever came. I started making videos just for my students. Some of my students asked me if I could make videos for them so when they go home they could watch them. I had like 200 followers. I literally never intended on getting an audience. It was just my students wanted to be able to watch the technique again. So I started an Instagram and I started a YouTube, and I was posting videos to both so my students could go home and watch them. And then I did a video about a fucking berimbolo that landed in a knee bar, or a leg lock counter. I don't even remember. I was getting ankle locked and I countered it with a rolling knee bar. And fucking, I was wearing my tight pants and I had a fucking a man bun, and people were just picking on it. Like, that would never work. That's absolute bullshit. The fucking, I can't believe you're wearing spats with no fucking shorts. And I watched the video go viral and I got like fucking 600 followers, and I was like, fuck, okay, cool. So then I made my mounted triangle video, and that one got shared by like BJJ, fucking, I can't even remember, BJJ Empire. There was a few big ones back then. And then me and Leg Locker became friends. The guy was running Leg Locker, and he only had like, he had a small account at the time too. And he was sharing every one of my leg lock techniques. And I didn't know anything about leg locks. I was just practicing shit that we watched like on other videos and in magazines. I wasn't trying to make up anything. I've never created anything special, but like, I'm self-taught. I've never had an instructor. So like right from the beginning, I was learning off YouTube, learning off magazines, learning from DVDs, because we didn't have a jiu-jitsu club down here. It was just me and a few of my friends. So I got my blue belt up in Fort McMurray when I was up there training. I was a welding inspector. So when I was up in Fort McMurray working to make money, I got my blue belt, and then I opened my club down here as a blue belt. So I've only had 3 months of instruction with like an instructor over me. So most of my shit's just made up. And that's why I think a lot of people like it, because it's like weird. And I don't know, man, I had to learn techniques by watching videos. So I think because I know what I need to see, I also know what I need to say. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know, because otherwise I would just watch videos and I wouldn't have learned anything either. But like, I've made it from white to black with only 3 months of an instruction, and I tap out black belts, so I'm good. You know, I'm not that good. I'm not that good. I just mean I've tapped out black belts. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not bragging about it. I know that I'm at this level. Jake McKenzie thought I was at this level, so he gave me my belt. But you know, people just tell me I'm easy to learn from. So I guess that's where it is.
Well, I think it's like anything you said, like you're learning from YouTube, and then also you've learned how to communicate it the way the audience want to perceive it, right? And so,
and I fucking hate people who I don't hate them, but I hate hey, my name's Ken Peters. This is my partner, Keenan. We're going to teach you today about the knee bar. I can't fucking sit through that. I don't have the attention span for that. So that's why I've never introduced myself in videos. I just started with, all right. And then
it's funny because I do that every time with Aaron. I'm like, okay, guys, we are back with Aaron. Okay.
I keep telling Mike, I'm like, don't do it. We don't fucking need it.
And I just keep doing it just to annoy him now. Okay, guys, I am here. Oh shit. I annoyed
we lost him.
That we lost him.
Sorry.
No, okay.
Wow, I pissed him off so much that he's like, you know, fuck it. I'm leaving this podcast right now. It's over.
Fucking terrible. Don't worry about that.
No, what were you gonna say?
No, I don't do it because most people don't care. Most people are only there for the technique. They don't care what my name is anyway, right? So if they care enough, they'll look it up. They're not going to remember me saying it typically, right? It's at the beginning of the video that they weren't watching to find out who I am. So it's worked out well for me because the people who want to find me, they'll click on it and see, okay, this dude, he's that idiot that wears hoodies and fucking shorts, and they'll either follow me or they won't. But I mean, I do it because I want people to learn the techniques. Like, I want to share my jujitsu because I wish I had more of that when I was coming up.
Has that kind of been like your, I guess like you've had a lot of success by accident, right? Like, is that kind of your, do you have advice for somebody who's like, hey, I want to build a YouTube channel or an Instagram channel, or are you just like, fuck it, just put stuff out there and see what happens? Like,
but that's it. Like, the best advice. No, that's true. The best advice I can give you is just do it. Start right now, and don't let the fucking what's the word for it? It's like a fake starting line. So like, everybody looks at things and like, oh, well, I'm too late because all these people already started. Like, that doesn't matter, right? Like, you just start now, and if you're consistent, I've seen so many people that are better than me, good techniques, good fucking instruction, and they started doing technique videos. They pounded out a few of them, and then they just stopped. You know, and if they would have kept going, you'll get the followers, you'll get the audience. If you keep doing anything, you'll eventually get enough people backing you that it'll be successful. Most people give up because they don't get that immediate gratification. And that's a bitch, man. That's a dream killer, right? So like the only advice that I can give you for Instagram, YouTube, literally anything is just start and just keep going. If you keep putting out videos every single day, you'll get an audience and they'll like you.
I also think you said a big thing was like you just put out what you wanted to put out and you were being authentic with it too, right? Like you weren't trying to follow a script or a different game plan. You were just like, I'm gonna be myself. I'm just gonna put it out there. They like it, awesome. If they don't like it, whatever, who gives a shit? I'm just gonna go.
It makes life easier that way, right? It's the same reason I don't lie, because remembering lies is just too much work for me. I would rather just do what's natural, do me, and then fucking that's it, right? It's just the only way I really do it. Anything.
Yeah, totally makes sense. Absolutely.
Totally makes sense. I agree, man. Should we talk about ADCC? What's coming up? All this craziness. Invites going out.
Dude, I talked about Gordon Ryan yesterday. One of my students was talking about, because I got invited to do BJJ Fanatics, so they're gonna fly me down.
Nice.
And yeah, dude, I'm fucking super pumped, right?
Are you gonna be doing the DVD in a tie-dye gi?
I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm gonna do gi or no gi or both. I might do, a no gi version and then a gi version. I really don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I'm super pumped about it, and I'm also nervous because like even though like you can go online and find like so many technique videos from me, like I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to fill a DVD? Like what the fuck? And then like, how am I supposed to introduce myself at the beginning? Knowing
I think I know how. Okay, guys.
Right?
Okay, guys. Look, it's like, dude, you're from Cape Breton. Why do you have a Portuguese accent? Okay, guys.
Yeah, right. So that's like, I'm pumped about that, right? I don't remember what we were talking about before. Oh, the ADCC. Yeah, I was talking about Gordon Ryan, and like, if I go do a BJJ Fanatics DVD, like it's cool. It's me. I get to do it. But like, you'd never compare to someone like Gordon Ryan, right? And like, because I'm not a big competitor. I just got back surgery last December. It took me like 2 months where I couldn't roll at all. So, like, I'll never be a world beater. I'll never be tapping out the best in the world. So the fact that Gordon Ryan, he can teach too, like that dude's just fucking amazing, right? Like he can do everything. He fucking goes and kills the best guys with stuff he tells you he's gonna use. And then his DVDs are fucking easy to listen to. We were talking about like, I think I'll still have an audience, but I mean, like, if you were going to spend your money, like, why not buy his DVD? I don't know.
I'm going to make a DVD, but maybe you should buy this, guys.
Right? Like, it's just, I got doubts about it, right? Like, why the fuck do they want me to do it? That's crazy.
Well, I think there's different perspectives, right? So like, Gordon's a fantastic instructor in my opinion. He's the best guy right now in jiu-jitsu. Like he's the man basically.
Yeah.
But with that said, like, is he the best fit or he like the best style of jiu-jitsu for everybody? Maybe not necessarily. Like,
no, you're right. You're right.
So like maybe like somebody who teaches like you or teaches in a way like you may be different and may resonate different with somebody.
Yeah.
Versus like a Gordon Ryan or like a Bernardo Faria or whoever else is going up there. We actually had a Jordan Priesinger on. He is actually just filming a DVD with BJJ Fanatics as well.
Nice.
So he's I think it's good because it gives a lot of Canadian guys and girls a lot of exposure where they can, hey, they can teach, they can make money, and
yeah.
Not just that, but just like show like, hey, like we do jiu-jitsu up here too, and we can teach, and like we're pretty good at it as well.
Yeah, like my motto with the teaching, and I get this all the time, like I'm never trying to teach black belts. Like I can't teach Oliver Taza how to go do something fucking new. Like he comes to my club, like I'm not teaching him anything. I might show him like a teeny tiny little thing that I've been doing, but he's just so much better than me, right? I'm not targeting blacks. I'm not targeting browns. I'm trying to teach Paul the dentist how to tap out Joe the accountant on his Monday class. Like that's my target audience, in my opinion, right? I'm trying to teach regular guys how to go out and beat that guy in their club that they haven't been able to beat, right? So like, is it black belt techniques? Yes, but I mean, like I said, like I'm not world champion black belt. I'm just a black belt teacher that's trying to help you be better at jujitsu.
No, I think that's perfect, right? You said it before, even like on your YouTube and especially for your Instagram, you know your target audience, you know who you're looking after, right? So that, and I think that's what a lot of people were, they're like, okay, I'm going to start teaching, but I have to start teaching black belt techniques.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you don't.
Anything. And I've had like high class guys message me and ask me this. They were like, listen, and dudes that like win big competitions, because I got a lot of people who follow me that just fucking blows my mind. They follow me, right? And they message me and they're like what should I teach? Like, should I just teach my A game? No, teach everything. Like, you're really just trying to get Paul the dentist to beat Joe the accountant. Like, that's it. That's a win.
That's the super fight I want to see. Paul the dentist versus Joe the accountant, like the battle of like the battle of the high tax bracket. That's what I enjoy too. Is like I want to see like two people like that are just like, I want to come in, I want to train. You know, I don't want to lift weights at the gym. I just want to do an activity that is fun, and that's fun that I'm going to get a workout doing, and I get to learn how to kill them.
Yes,
like that's
exactly
like,
right. Like even the gym, like I go to the gym 5 days a week and I only go to look good. My wife is better looking than me and I have to keep up. Like that's the only reason I even work out. I fucking hate it.
Well, let's be honest. Like Aaron's ugly. I'm ugly. Like how we're married, we don't know. But fortunately, we do work in a gym environment, in a gym that we do not speak of on this podcast. Is that right, Aaron? We don't
speak about them.
Yeah, especially you after all this time. I'm trying not to get you fired right now, but
thank you. I appreciate that.
although if you did, wink, wink, it would actually probably benefit you quite a bit. Wink, wink.
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
I just see you one day just in the gym that we do not speak of, just walking in like, or Kent, are you like a big like pro wrestling fan, or have you ever watched wrestling before?
I grew up watching it, so I've always liked it. Yeah.
So there's a promo by Ric Flair with like Eric Bischoff back in the day, where like he's in the ring and then like Eric's like, your history, I'm gonna fire you, and Ric Flair's like, fire me, I'm already fired. Fire me. That's gonna be Aaron one day. Just to upper manage. Fire me. I'm already fired. He's gonna be like ripping off his belt, his shirt. He's just like he's gonna be standing in the middle of the gym in his underwear. Everyone's gonna be wondering what's going on.
Well, see, when you guys get this podcast all blown up, he'll be able to just walk in, spit on a piece of paper, and say, "This is my resignation."
There you go. That's it. That's the plan.
Yep.
Prefer to get fired and paid out though. But gonna do this smart. We're gonna play the game.
Because we're talking ADC, like obviously, like with Andre Galvao and Gordon Ryan, like that match is coming up. Do you think this is going to be like a highly anticipated, like very competitive match, or like do you think it's just going to be like one athlete just superior to just dominating the other one?
Oh man, I don't know. Like this is like really hard for me because I'm actually a big fan of both of them. Like I have Andre Galvao's book. I've been doing all his drills for as long as I can remember. I watched the Mendez brothers like come up, right? Like I don't know. I think in their prime, both of them versus each other would be like the super fight of the ages. But I think now nobody's touching Gordon Ryan.
Mm-hmm. It's a hard match because it's just like
I know. I think I would rather see Ryan versus Pina again. And I seen Mo Jackson. He just posted on his Instagram story the other day that he's going to try to set it up.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
before ADCC or
no? I think after.
Like after.
Yeah, he said like big things hopefully come, and I don't know. He might just be fucking around. I watch his stories, and I want that guy to adopt me.
Yeah. No, that guy's got the connection with everybody right now, especially if
and he's ADCC. Super nice.
He's a nice guy.
Every time I message him, dude, every time I message him, he messages me back. Dude's fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, he's been doing crazy things for jiu-jitsu scene as far as the ADCC. Yep. It's going to be probably the biggest show they've ever done. Obviously, they sold out all their tickets, especially for I think they opened up more seating too, because I think they sold out completely.
It's going to be a sellout, 100%. This is probably.
I would love to go watch that. Like I hate MMA events. Like I've coached a lot of my guys fighting, and I always stand in like the back and fucking watch from I don't like being in the crowd. I don't like the drunk yelling and shit, but man, I would fucking love to be there and watch ADCC.
What do you mean you don't like your stand them up ref? Why are they humping each other on the ground?
It's so hard for me.
This isn't real fighting. Boo.
It's so hard for me to fucking deal with that shit. But like we always had. Oh fuck! Did I leave? Oh, I'm screwing something up here. Oh, okay. Now I can see you both.
Oh, you can.
We always had fun. Like me and my guys, we walked out to Can I Take a Selfie one time. We fucking, dude, like we just made it fun, right? Like we have one picture of I climbed the outside of the cage and he jumped on the cage after his win. And we were like floating at the top of the cage.
Nice.
My guy, the dude that was most active, he actually fought someone from Ontario. Guy's great. Lyndon Whitlock.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I cornered. Yeah, Lyndon's awesome. I was with him a lot that night. But my guy Michael Spainline, he was the dude that was fighting. And I've been to a lot of events because of him. I had another guy who went like 7-1, Tyler Reed, and I can't stand the environment of MMA fans. I know that sounds bad. I fucking hate pretty much everyone in the arena except the fight and maybe the ref.
You would be a great to have like in a post-fight interview. First of all, I'd just like to say, all you
fuck you, you're cool,
fuck you, you're cool. It's a classic promo at the end,
right?
What's some of the so like you I didn't know you cornered a lot of like pro MMA fighters, but like what's some of the craziest things you've seen at like events, like besides like just the drunken stupidity that we've touched on in the crowd?
Fuck, like I'm lucky where we didn't really have a lot of issues at the places I've been, but I had a lot of amateur fighters come through too. So we had a pretty big MMA program for a while there. And then like one guy would move away, one guy would go in the army, one dude would shack up with a woman, and then the MMA team would just disappear, and then it would come back and would have more fights. But like I've been to amateur MMA events where we brought up our medicals and shit, and I never even had to show them. Like that's just fucked, right? Like we're basically fighting in a bar. One time a dude suplexed another dude so much that the whole cage shifted to the side and the side tipped inward because it was like up against the upper deck rail. I had one of my fighters, the other guy asked for more time to cut weight. So it was a 170 fight, and me and Tyler are like, yeah, sure, he can have whatever fuck he needs. Like, who cares, right? And when he weighs in, finally, after cutting the extra weight, he weighed in 27 pounds over. What the fuck were you? What were you cutting?
Hold on, I need an hour to cut twice.
What the fuck? You're not gonna do it. It's not gonna happen.
You have to believe. You have to believe.
So yeah, we've seen a lot, right? Because we were starting right when it was getting big around here, so it was fun. I don't know if I'll ever do it again. I made no money, right? Like most of the time it would be me and 5 guys from my team, one being the fighter, would be driving up together, staying in the same room with each other, going to the event, like just being together the whole time, right? And like I'm not a drinker, so if they went out partying afterwards, I'd be going back to the room by myself calling my wife. So it's like it was never that fun for me. I was always money coming out of my own pocket. And I mean, like my guys would get like 300 to show, 300 to win. And like, I'm not going to try to.
What are you going to take? Like $20 for gas?
Yeah, man. Like, you know, so sometimes we'd be lucky if we could get like the promoter to pay for our gas to drive up, because we'd be driving like 6-7 hours. Right. So,
yeah,
but yeah, I honestly, I don't really care to ever do it again, but we had some fun. You know, it was nice seeing my guys win, like knowing that I trained them. Like me and Minnie, he had a championship fight against, it was for the 135-pound bantamweight championship for ECC. And we just trained this move. Like if they shoot a single on you, you tip to the side and lock a triangle up, like a front on triangle. And we drilled it over and over and over again because the guy we were fighting, who has the best nickname in combat sports, the ginger with intent to injure, was the guy's nickname.
That is now Aaron's nickname.
My God.
Hurt.
Ginger with the intent to injure Aaron Gall with a spazzing toe hold.
Yeah, he won with that triangle. So it was really cool because like we just drilled it going up and then he fucking did it. So like shit like that, like that's the good memories I had with it. But I didn't see a lot of insanity. Like there was only a few fights in the crowds, nothing crazy.
Yeah, MMA is just that weird sport right now where it's been like that forever, where it's not a lot of money in it. The athletes aren't getting paid, the coaches don't get paid enough, and it's like it's a great sport, but it's just one of those things that it doesn't have the drive that it could as far as like a financial setback.
Well, it's like if you want to be an actor, man, like you don't get to do level 1 acting, level 2 acting, or like Red Seal carpentry. Like you don't go through that channel. It's you're a bouncer, you're a bouncer, you're a bouncer, you're a bouncer, you make it. Right? Like fucking fighting sucks. Like especially if you do all that, lose all those relationships, you have to put your friendships on the back burner, you know, like, and then maybe you don't make it at all. It's terrible.
Even honestly, if you're like an entry, like UFC level fighter, like
it's not much money, man.
You're still not making a lot. Like
no,
you may be making maybe enough to get by, but you're probably finding other work on the side. You're bouncing, you're doing construction, you're doing something like you.
Well, and like I don't know how I feel. I'm not a big union fan. Like I worked out west for years, and I just seen the unions, they took advantage of a lot of shit, right? But something like that with fighters, where if you did give them like level 1, like farm club, you know, you got these guys training, they're working their way up. Like, I don't know, maybe that exists. I don't know what Dana White's been doing lately. I don't watch as much MMA as I used to.
Yeah, no, I just, like you think about it, right? Where like any professional sports industry, so they always have unions, right? But MMA, like again, with all the different types of organizations and people are always shifting over and back and forth, it'd be hard to kind of manage it. They wouldn't be able to do like a super union. I know that, but there has to be something better other than bottom basement.
Like if you had a league where you fought a certain amount of fights and then you keep track of the amount of wins for losses, and then that sets the playoffs, which would be like a tournament. Like, I don't know if there'd be enough interest for that, but it's something to give them steady work, man. That would be cool.
Well, I think that's what PFL was trying to do, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think PFL was trying to do that, and I think in boxing they were trying to do that at one point. There was like a super middleweight Grand Prix. What they would have a round robin of like a certain amount of people, and they'd all box each other over the year, and then they would have like payouts at the end of the year based on like wins, losses, who got to the semifinals, finals, all that.
Nice.
So they had that was a different approach as well. I don't know how the split would work with that, because boxing is an entirely different model as well. It's kind of one of those things like you're a bouncer, you're on the street, you're starving, you're a bouncer, and then like now you're actually getting like 7-figure purses. But that's also after maybe fighting 100+ times.
Right.
Pro.
Great. Absolutely crazy. I wish the best for everybody going through that struggle, because that is not something I wanted to do.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think the only other thing we're forgetting, especially when we look at leagues, is like these guys are still being paid no matter what. Whereas again, these fighters are not fighting; they're not getting paid, right?
Exactly.
So they're not gonna get anything until they fight. So if they're injured for 6 months or they tear an ACL for a year, they're out, other than insurance money, and that's it.
Well, that's one of the guys that I'm affiliated with here. He trains up in Halifax. He owns his own club. He was the #1 lightweight contender in the world, and he was going to get a title shot. And then he took a knee to the side of the head, ended up with a concussion. Now he doesn't fight in the UFC anymore.
Was this TJ Grant?
TJ Grant, yeah.
Oh yeah, TJ Grant.
He was a top level guy, and like I was
he's fucking amazing, like such a nice guy. He's been around here a few times. My chocolate lab actually humped him. So knowing that I could beat my lab, MMA math, I have a win over TJ Grant, right? So
over his leg at least.
Just watching him fight, every time he fought, I was like standing at the edge of the coach, losing my shit, because he deserved it. He's such a fucking great dude. And now he owns Grant's Martial Arts in Halifax there, and he has a great team. He's a great coach. But like example of he went right to the top, and then with an injury, the money's just gone, right? Like sometimes you never come back from concussions, and that's what happened in this case.
Well, another example in Ontario is like Jeff Jocelyn got to the UFC.
Oh yeah.
A very high profile debut. Like he was probably like they weren't doing rankings at the time, but probably when he debuted, and like John Fitch was even talking about this in a podcast, he was probably like top 10, maybe top 5 in the world at the time. He was up there, like he was a contender, and then had the one fight, and then like he lost like a close match to Josh Koscheck, and then I think it was sparring, got a concussion, and then like that was it. He never recovered.
The last time I did striking at my gym, I had concussion-like symptoms for almost like 2 months, and I'll never take another punch in the head. It's not worth it. Like I got 2 kids, we got 40 horses, I got my 2 jobs. Like it's
40 horses, Jesus.
I know, it's fucking crazy. But that was the worst like 3 months I had in a long time. So, and all I was doing was just fucking head movement drills while sparring. So I took more shots than I should have. And I'll never spar again. I'll never do striking. Well, I might do striking again, but I'll never spar again. It's just not worth it. There's no risk reward for me because I never plan on fighting. So I'll never get punched in the head again. Not intentionally, anyway.
Speaking of spooning legs, this is an excellent segue. Just hold on. Jake McKenzie, what is it like rolling with him and getting spooned in deep half guard?
Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. He rolls like really, really hard with me, which I love. So I get no break. I get no rest, no relaxation. It's like when he's beating me up, it must be how some of my students feel because I have like a heavy top pressure game. So like he doesn't play a lot of half guard with me because we don't stay there. It's like every time he gets under me, he's on top of me, and like fuck, man, come on. Like he could like give me a little to make me feel good, but he doesn't. He just fucking kills me. I learn shit absolutely every time he's here, and I love it. And I have to have him here soon too, because I think I'm 3 years at Black last month, so I'll be getting that first degree soon, which is pretty crazy.
Very nice. Congratulations.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Well, I mean, it's not official until he puts it on.
Yeah, exactly.
I just remember because me and TJ Grant got our black belts, I think, a week apart, and he just got his first degree like last week. So it's pretty cool.
There we go. Well, it's
nice.
Down the pipeline.
Congrats to TJ Grant out there. And I'm sure you'll be getting her soon. It's really just about time, and probably him just coming up to give it to you officially. Well,
honestly, that's it, man. Like people don't like coming to Cape Breton. There's really not much here except me.
So Cape Breton, I don't know a ton about it. What's it like growing up there? What's like the craziest thing you've seen? Like what's a Cape Breton thing?
It's an attitude, man. It's a weird attitude. So here in Cape Breton, people take pride in how much they can drink and how much they can party. So like we don't know that it's not normal, right? So like when we would go outside of Cape Breton to party, and we would go pick up like a 2-4 and some fucking rum and go, they'd be like, wow, like you got booze for the whole weekend. And we'd be like, this is for tonight, you know? And but that was what it was like. I don't know. Like I'm like 12 years sober, but we drank a lot, like every night, 7 days a week. We'd be putting back fucking 12, 13, 14 beer because it's like that's how you'd brag here in Cape Breton. Like this is how much I can drink. Fucking weird, I know, but we didn't know, right? Like we didn't know that was strange until we got older and started leaving Cape Breton, and we'd be partying in like Antigonish or in Halifax or whatever, and people are drinking like 2 beer and then going to the bar, and we're like, we're all cheap, right? So let's get drunk before the bar, so then when you go to the bar, you don't fucking spend money. Right, like
the money's already spent at the LCBO. That's an Ontario reference, the LCBO.
Yeah, so that's just one of the weird things with Cape Breton. Like everybody drinks here. It's like a big drinking place. But dude, we're pretty tame. Like I don't even think Coke existed here until I was like fucking 25. Like it's not like a crazy spot. It's getting worse just like everywhere. But Cape Breton's pretty fucking awesome. We have beaches all around because we're an island. So like there's beaches everywhere. We have a big downtown port. We have a giant fiddle. You can Google it. It's just a big fucking fiddle that plays fiddle music 24 hours a day. We got a Fortress of Lewisburg, which is this fucking big castle that, well, not a castle, but a big fortress that they used to use to control who would get to go inland, like up to Ontario, like the Hudson Bay bullshit, all that. So, I mean, it's a cool little place to grow up, but it's not big, right? So when I first moved out west, there was a lot of shell shock and just seeing shit you never see. Like in Ontario, like a 4-lane highway, we don't fucking have those here.
No, we don't. Wait till you see the 401.
Fuck, I don't even want to, man. People here can barely fucking drive. I don't want to see crazy drivers anywhere else.
Or just wait till you see the 401. I was on it earlier.
When I'm home from Alberta, there's not really like traffic and shit down here. Not like there was up there. Like up there, a 40-minute drive would take you like 5 hours coming home from work from a shift. Down here, like traffic doesn't exist. It's fantastic. The only issue here, nobody will let you out. So like when you're trying to pull out, the people just don't let you. But because there's so little traffic, even that's not really an issue, right? This is a great spot. I'm happy I'm raising my kids here. I never thought I'd come home. I never thought I'd move back here. Like me and my wife are on the same page of the yearbook for our high school here, and we met in Alberta.
Oh, really?
Fuck day.
That's pretty funny.
Yep.
So you were doing welding. What was she doing out there?
Personal training.
Oh, there you go. See, health and fitness all around.
Yeah.
See, we're all not that bad here.
Yeah, not bad.
Me and Aaron occasionally lift weights for a living as well.
Once in a while. Once in a while.
At the gym that we do not speak of.
I mean, that's it.
So what's kind of like the future, especially for like, Zombie Proof and then obviously Supernatural Survivor Gear? Like the new steps, kind of things you want to share with us, or just kind of keep going with the flow?
I'm just going to keep going, man. I'm just going to keep putting out technique videos. Like that was one of my questions for BJJ Fanatics. Like I have to be able to keep posting my shit for free. Mm-hmm. And they were like, yeah, that's no problem. So they're going to be okay with it. I think like the difference between what I do and what they're going to do, they're going to organize it. So like if I teach, I think one of my DVDs I want to do for them is like my aggressive mount stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to like beginning to end in that straight orderly fashion. So if you grab the DVD, you'll learn exactly what I do, why I do it, what led to it, the correct steps, because jiu-jitsu is like speaking, right? Like you go A, B, C, D. You can't just like, if me and you were having a conversation and I was just randomly saying words, the conversation doesn't work. Fuck. Right?
Fuck. Shit.
Right?
Fuck.
What's that crazy guy talking about?
Fuck.
So I think that's what they're going to be selling. They're going to be selling the organization, where with me, it's just fucking, I just make videos of whatever the fuck I want. Like whatever I'm teaching that day, we just film it. I go through it with my students. I make sure they understand. And then before I move on, I hand my phone to somebody, usually the same guy. We call him Cyber Steve because his name's Steve and it's filming and shit. I don't know. I'm a weirdo, but that's pretty much how every video gets made, man. Just right on my iPhone. I just fucking wing it.
Sometimes it's the best way.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I tried doing all the editing. I started putting like titles on everything. And while I know it's easier for people to navigate through, I just fucking didn't want to. So I stopped. And
you don't like it? Too bad. Unfollow me. Fuck you.
Yeah. Fuck you, bro. This is the way it's going to be. Take it or leave it. So like, well, cause you can go to YouTube and you can search up a title of something you want to see. Cause I upload everything on Instagram and YouTube. So YouTube is like a technique library, where Instagram is just whatever the fuck I want to post.
Yeah. And like, do you spend a lot of time like driving, like, whether it's in the description or putting SEO stuff in there, or do you just upload it and go?
No, I used to try to put more stuff in. Like I used to try like all the tags and everything. And now I'm just letting organic take its place, man. Like I just post what I post. I use like 3 or 4 hashtags and that's it. And that's it. It's either going to sail or it isn't. When I say viral, like when I was talking about the viral video earlier, like by my video views today standards wouldn't have been viral. But back then when I got like 30,000 views on one video, I was like,
yeah.
Right. But now like 30,000 is a normal video. So it's, I never really had a viral video that made me like blow up. So it's the same with YouTube. Like YouTube, I'm at like I don't know, like 27,000 followers, but it's always just been steady video production and 5 followers a day. I've never had anything that was like just a blow up overnight success situation, except with TikTok. TikTok, I have 150,000 followers, and it's not from jiu-jitsu. I cut open a bale of hay, like those big marshmallow looking things.
Yeah.
One of my videos has 27 million views.
I guess people want to see some hay getting split.
People are crazy. Dude, I got interviewed by CTV and CBC because I cut open bales of hay. It's fucking insane.
I'm looking it up right now. I'm just curious now.
Yeah, dude.
Aaron has TikTok. I've never lowered myself to that level yet.
I post jiu-jitsu videos on it, but they'll get like 1,000 views, 500 views. But then I'll post cutting open another bale of hay, and I'm not even kidding. It'll get at least I have like 20 videos that all have over 1 million views, and it's all cutting open bales of hay.
What's the handle?
Kent Peters, the Kent Peters.
Okay.
I think it's Peters. I always just use my own name. I don't like fuck.
Oh yeah, there it is. There we go. Huh? There. Holy shit.
That's crazy, right? It's crazy. So like that pisses me off because I spend so much time making jiu-jitsu videos and I'm like 50K, and then I cut open one fucking bale of hay, boom, 150K. Like fuck you, TikTok.
Yeah, it's just 7.1 million followers on it right now. I'm sorry, views on it.
Yeah, it's
you have all this jiu-jitsu content as well, which is crazy.
Yep. Madness.
Just slip a little link to your Shopify store.
Dude, like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I'll keep posting the hay bale videos because like having a fucking eventually, if I ever have like 1 million followers, like that'd be pretty cool, right? Yeah. I don't care what it's for. That'd be pretty cool. And then let's say 1,000 of them do jiu-jitsu. Fuck, that's 1,000 potential buyers for my gear. I'm good with that, man.
No, that's pretty amazing. But I think it's like anything. You've leveraged off the algorithms, especially based off the audience that you have. And again, you've made it work, right? It wasn't science.
Whatever I can do, man.
You just put it out there and you made it work for yourself. So I think that's the key message. If you had to like
everything with me is just right place, right time. Like if you continue to do something over and over and over again, eventually something has to go right. Like you can only fucking fail so many ways, right?
And believe me and Aaron have failed a lot of different ways.
Well, then fucking who knows, man? You're probably 1 or 2 failures away from hitting it.
Exactly.
So I'm saying, Aaron, like, just keep failing until something goes right.
But that's why we, but like, even like what I was saying before, like when we started this podcast, it was, we couldn't do anything and we've always wanted to do something. And now we get to speak with like, again, gentlemen like yourself that have just kind of made something from nothing. And then hearing all these different types of stories and just like, there's so many different success stories out there, which is awesome. And then we can put it on a platform and build off of it. Yeah,
it's cool, man. And I like, it's funny because I have my own podcast. Me and one of my students have been doing it for a while. We haven't been very active lately, not since Corona started, but like I don't really listen to podcasts at all. Like I don't know if I've ever listened to one. I listen to like business audio books and shit because I'm a geek, but podcasts, I never got into podcasts. Like everybody in all my classes, like, hey man, Joe Rogan. Never listened to a single one.
It all depends on the guest. You know what?
That's what everyone says. It depends on the guest. Yeah.
It's all about guests. And again, it doesn't even matter what podcast it is, depending on the topic. But I think it all depends on the guest and like what drives the audience more than anything. It's all about the stories and all that. It's like, because again, there's so many different podcasts out there, but it's all about who's on the actual podcast. What do you actually want to listen to? And again, it's what is your audience and what are you trying to deliver? And that's it.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
That's what it comes down to.
So before we kind of wrap up, is there kind of like, like is the zombie apocalypse, do you have the sanctuary there? Because like it's Cape Breton Island, World War Z.
I think would be good. I think would be good here. We have a lot of water, right? So all we'd have to do is go smash the fucking causeway and then they wouldn't be able to get across. We just have to kill whatever's on the island. It's funny, like with the name was a joke. Like, and The Walking Dead, the show, didn't exist when I named my club. So like I'm like George A. Romero. Like I watched zombie movies all my life, right? So before The Walking Dead happened, like one of my students was just joking. We only had a small club, and he was like, "Hey man, can I take a friend with me to class tomorrow?" And I said, "You can take anybody you want, but there's no zombies allowed." And then he was like, "Oh, this place is zombie proof, is it?" Yeah, it is. Yeah. And that's it. That's the origin story for the name. So we were just fucking around with it. We called it Zombie Proof. It was a big joke because like I never knew 50,000 fucking people would ever be watching me ever. So by the time we got to this big, it's like, it's fucking too late. Like, this is the name. And then supernatural survival gear, you know, like it's all just a play off of itself, like supernatural survival gear. Like, who are we surviving? We're surviving zombies, right? So it's just fucking whatever the fuck I want now. Like, I love it, but it's everything I've ever done is just a happy accident, man.
Nah, it's awesome. No, but it's been pretty awesome kind of listening to talk to you, just like hearing these different types of stories. Obviously, I wish you nothing more but more success down the road. And I keep wanting to see these new videos and obviously hit that million followers like you were talking about. So
yeah, eventually that's the long-term goal, right? I'm just hustling, man. I'm just trying to get as much sales as I can. Eventually I'd like to have an employee that isn't my 10-year-old boss, and I won't have to do as many tie-dyes, get my hands fucking dyed blue every day, look like a fucking Smurf.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, before we head out, can you link us up with the actual shout out to actually what your website is, so that I'm making sure everybody's following you?
It's for the gear, it's just supernatural survival gear. On Instagram, the Kent Peters, and like people can message me anytime at all. Like I actually answer every message I get. So, and sometimes I do like ask me anythings, and I'll get like fucking 500 messages, and I'm like, okay, just one at a time. But I message back everything. I get some fucking weird questions, man, but I try my best to answer them all.
So before we go, what's like one of the like weird ones you've gotten?
Some dude, every time he messages me like would you rather? Like literally every time. I don't know the guy. He doesn't have a profile picture, and it's like, would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or fight 10 duck-sized horses? And it's like, that's the question. And it's like, I really got to think about that, because like horses are fucking big. I deal with those bastards every day. So like a duck, like those fucking things can bite you and hurt you. The foot would be like big and flat, so I don't know if a kick would hurt as much. I think I'd fight the fucking duck-sized horse. Like those tiny little horse-sized ducks, man, I don't know. You don't fuck with horses.
Horse-sized ducks.
What a question, though, right? It really
is a question.
Like, what the fuck? What would you guys rather?
10 really. I play this game with my wife all the time. We come up with the most like random, dumbest shit imaginable. But yeah, like 10 large duck. Like, do you have weapons? Like now there's things.
No. You got
it?
nothing. And like, if you want to get it even scarier, you're naked. So you have to like.
Never brought up that. You never brought up that.
You got to defend the penis.
Now you're just
so whatever
rules.
it is.
This is bullshit. You can't just add rules.
No, I'm adding rules. So you think about it, right? Like,
fuck do you do
any self-defense situation you're ever in would be more difficult if you were naked, because you'd be like, I gotta hide that shit. That's important to me. Like, that changes the dynamics of everything, right?
Wow.
So I would
can't play this game with me, bro.
I would fight the 10 ducks, but I would have a vehicle such as some form of tank. Because you said I'm not allowed to have weapons, but I have a tank
duck killer
that I could just drive very slowly into them. Aaron, Aaron's like, this is fucking stupid. I'm not participating.
It's terrible.
It's gone a little off the edge. It got a little crazy. But that's the internet for you, though.
Yep.
Can you find a tank in Cape Breton? I don't know. We'll find out.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get it across the causeway. That's for
no,
sure.
Probably not.
So, anybody you want to shout out or any sponsors you want to talk about before we take off?
No. If anybody wants to go buy my shit, that'd be cool. So, you know,
there we go. Link it up.
Buy Ken Peters shit. Gear. We're gonna end with that. Buy Ken Peters shit.
Dude, I started saying that as a joke in the video. Like, I think I was trying to sell like a new hoodie or something, and I had it on and I was like, hey, buy my shit. And then at the end of the video, they were like, if you say that every time, I will love you. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll say it every time. It was just a joke at my club. And then other people started messaging me like, hey man, I buy your shit. And I'm like, fuck, it works.
There we go. All right. Well, Nate, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an awesome podcast.
Thanks for having me. I hope I don't get you canceled.
Nah, I'm not worried about that. Can't hurt us. We're just ready to rock.
We've had worse.
Exactly. All right, brother. Thanks so much.
Thank you.